Dear brothers, what's up, boys? Episode 101. Let's get after it. I was going through some of my old journal entries this past weekend, and this one stuck out from the beginning of the year. It was on March 8th, and I think it might be a good reminder that we need to take into account today. So I said this: hell on earth is the culmination and development of evil. It is not just the height of Hitler's reign or Mao's or Stalin's or the shooter in Vegas, but it is also its metamorphosis which led to that point. The fact of the matter is that the allowance of evil actions to permeate only makes them easier to do. Those who are responsible see themselves as gods, drunk on power, and hell follows them. Yet, it all started as a mustard seed of evil. We are all human and susceptible to doing such atrocities. Guard your hearts, pray fervently, be good. So that was kind of a short and sweet one from March, but the fact I want to point out is that third part where I talk about evil being a mustard seed. And what I mean by that is every time you allow something small into your life, doing something wrong, I'll use a simple example. You tell a little lie at work because you don't want to be berated by the boss, or you don't want to be held responsible for something. Another alternative would be maybe you've been doing good about watching porn, and one afternoon you slip up a little bit and you throw it on your computer. And the reason that I point those things out is whatever the evil or sinful thing is that you do, even if it's small, when you allow something small in, you are more likely to do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again. And I point this out so that we all understand that you have to guard your heart from those kind of things, because eventually they start to compound and compound. The Bible talks about having a readiness to sin when we're born. We're not born good and whole. We're born with the ability to do good, but we are born with a predilection to choose bad things and to harm our neighbor and to protect ourselves and to be selfish. And you have to guard your heart against doing those things, because when you let them in, when you let them seep in, that seed starts to grow, and then you do whatever the action is again, and the seed grows more. That's the kind of stuff that you can't allow, because you can go from being a good, wholesome human or trying to be a good human to a bad one very quickly. Nobody wakes up in the morning going, I'd like to go commit a bunch of atrocities today. But when you let a little bit in, then you have to go a little further and a little further and a little further. I've used this example a couple of different times when we talk specifically about like porn and OnlyFans and what have you. People start with like something very basic, something simple in that world. And then they get bored of it. And then they have to go to the next level and the next level and the next level. And those next levels just get worse and worse and more dangerous and more dangerous. And then you start seeing, things like wild pedophilia. And again, that all started somewhere down earlier with a mustard seed that was planted. And so when you've let that mustard seed grow, that garden can very, very quickly become just weeds and rot. And by the time you even see it, it becomes too late. Or to that end, the more you do it, the less bad it feels in your head. And that is a very dangerous place for you to be. So this morning, fellas, I just want you to be super conscious of when you do something where you're like, I know that was bad, or I know that this is bad, but I won't do it again. Don't do it now. Don't do it in that moment. When you allow that into your life, you are allowing the opportunity for it to grow. Don't let it be put in the soil from the get-go. Just don't. I have struggled with that immensely, and I have to be very conscious myself of, God, when times come up today where I feel like something bad, I could do something bad, I have this urge, this readiness to sin, if you will, I have to make the right decision that this isn't going to be a thing. I'm not doing this. Because when you guard your heart and you pray fervently about that, it bolsters your ability to stay guarded against the bad things of the world. It protects your heart, which then allows you to be a good man to the rest of society. So, fellows, this morning, guard your hearts. When those things come up, if you know that you're doing things now that you shouldn't be doing, especially if they've become habitual in some capacity, you've got to start making the decision that this isn't important enough, that it's going to harm my family. I can't let evil in, because when I do, it then has the ability to foster and grow. And that the heroic man has no time for evil to grow in his life, because the world needs the good that he can provide. That's it for this Monday, boys. Have an awesome day. I love you all. God bless you all. Be strong. Let's get after it, fellas. We'll see you.